Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, today I got a fun, exciting, and unexpected video for you guys today because we're playing Virtual League Baseball 2. This is an unreleased Virtual Boy game that never actually saw the retail store shelves back in the day. It was basically 100% finished, sent to prototype status, and never actually got a release. And that's just because by the time this game was ready to come out, the Virtual Boy was done and dusted, dead on store shelves, because it still is Nintendo's biggest flop as far as hardware is concerned. And the timing of this is absolutely incredible because Nintendo has revealed the Virtual Boy add-on for the Switch 2, which is going to be an absolutely wild time. I kind of almost wonder if it's going to fail for Nintendo twice. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But honestly, this is just a baseball game. If you played one, you've kind of played them all. And even though it is a very fun baseball game, it is going to be something. This isn't a lost Super Mario Bros. Prototype, I wish it was. But I absolutely love preservation like this. The Virtual Boy forums found this and did a crowdfunding campaign and tried to obtain it. At this point in time, they are still working on that. And because if you know me and you know the channel, you know I'm always advocating for the preservation of lost games. Something like this just absolutely makes me happy, and I make a video of it, even though I know it probably won't do as many views as other things on the channel. Because this is the type of thing I'm always advocating more in retro gaming. People going out and preserving things and sharing them with everyone else so we can all have fun. And you can run this on Red Viper on the 3DS. You can run it on Med-Defend, that's how I'm capturing it here. And I actually haven't heard anybody use it on a Virtual Boy with a flash cart yet, but if I do get an answer on that before this video goes out, I will leave it in the description. But just think of it this way, this is just one of thousands upon thousands of prototype games out there in the wild that people could play if the owners would actually release them. Think about what I do on the channel every once in a while when I can with my Discord members, releasing stuff like Akuma Mortis Immortal and Castlevania the arcade game. Those were titles that no one could play whatsoever, and now everyone can play and have fun with. And unfortunately there, I just let a dinger go on basically my first pitch because it did take me a second to understand exactly what I was doing here. You have to get that pitch within that meter to get a fastball, and then you can move it around with the left D-pad. The right D-pad basically just can shift some of your outfield to the left or to the right, so it basically plays like a traditional game. Now of course you're not going to get 3D support, at least in this video, because I am using Med-Defend for the ease of capture. So Red Viper on the 3DS would definitely be the best way to play something like this, because you can use that stereoscopic 3D, and it's going to help a lot with the depth perception of when those pitches come in. And even though timing it really isn't hard in 2D, it gives you that extra component. And it is a bummer that this never actually got released back in the day, but it's one of those things. Virtual Boy always felt like a great idea that just needed to wait like 2-3 years for better hardware to be on the market, because the black and red screen, the headaches it caused, at least for me personally, and I know for a lot of other people, just kind of felt like an idea that was ahead of its time, and Nintendo basically just needed to wait for screen technology to get a little bit better. And as far as why that player didn't go to third base there, I have absolutely no idea. Maybe I was supposed to do something that I totally screwed up on. But this, again, is just so much fun. Just think about how much work it would take to get something like this found and then actually purchased for dumping, because this is something that somebody actually had to spend money on to be able to share it. And that's something I've done on the channel as well. Not every single arcade game that I've released in my Discord has been something that was free to me. Sometimes money does change hands, and basically somebody takes an L just to make sure other people can have that fun. So that's what's going on here. Like I said, I will leave a link to the forum below. If you want to kick the dumper of this a couple bucks, you totally can, but you don't have to. I sent him a 5-spot earlier today just to kind of register how impressed I am with these sort of things, because the Virtual Boy does not have a large library, so getting more content is always great. Now, as far as the game in and of itself is concerned, it's a super competent baseball game, and I really do love the mechanics here. Hitting feels good. You can move around in the box, you can kind of float those pitches, throw some curveballs, throw some knuckleballs, or anything else you want, and it really does give you a great sensation of playing a baseball game. And of course, with the actual stereoscopic 3D, you're going to get an even better sensation versus actually playing it Med-Defend. But that is the great thing about Virtual Boy. You can play it on real hardware, or you can do something like emulate it. But I had to answer back for that home run, so I got one myself. The game also has a pretty fun soundtrack for Virtual Boy, so go ahead and listen, and I'll be right back with a lot more. It's got a fun soundtrack, and some of those sound effects can sound a little bit staticky, but it's hard to say if that's part of this being a prototype or if it's just part of the game and the hardware in and of itself. And this maybe is the hardest voiceover I had to do all week, and I just figured I would mention it. I am waiting on a call back from our real estate agent for my wife and I because we have a bid in for a house. It's 10 a.m. as I'm doing this, and we should know by 1 p.m. So I am just trying to knock videos out today to give myself something to take my mind off of the fact that I'd rather just be sitting at a bar drinking and waiting for a phone call, but that's probably not productive to anyone. And that kind of is the reality of doing this channel around my normal life as well. Sometimes I just don't have the spirit in me to want to focus on what I'm doing, but something like this gives me that focus because I just love preservation. I am of the firm belief that anybody out there that has something that other people can't play, it is just genuinely so much more fun to be able to share it with them. I love seeing other people be stoked to be able to play things that I have in my collection that weren't able to be enjoyed. Something like Akuma especially, there was only like 2 cabinets out in the world for that. It never actually saw a retail release into arcade, so it was a lost game, and now anyone can sit down and play that, and that's exactly what you're getting here with a new Virtual Boy game. Before this file came out, because people preserved it, it was something that only the owner of the prototype cartridge could play, and it didn't go any further than that, but as of today, it is just out there into the world. It'll be preserved forever. People that love Virtual Boy can enjoy it, and people that are going to discover Virtual Boy 10, 15, 20 years down the line that aren't even born yet are going to be able to play a game like this, and that's why it really is so important. It's not just because people want to play games they don't get a chance to play, and it's not just because people want to enjoy stuff without dropping the metric stacks of cash that you need to have to buy prototypes, because trust me, some of them are not cheap whatsoever. It's really just about making sure this stuff continues to live on long after we are gone, because trust me, there's going to be a point in time, even in my life, where I'm probably going to get tired of playing video games. I'm probably going to get tired of lugging around my collection, and I will probably sell every single item out of it. But I will know with stuff like this on the internet, I'll still be able to sit down and enjoy all those games when I want to without taking a physical item off the shelf. And if you're wondering in between takes, my wife and I just raised our offer another $5,000 on this house, and just like prototypes are expensive, the amount of money we're talking about potentially spending today has absolutely kept me up last night. I don't know why people are allowed to do these things. Yes, I might be an adult, I may have been an adult for a long time, but today I basically feel like a child masquerading as an adult when it comes to actually spending this type of cash. I'd rather be bidding on a rare prototype on eBay, because at least I understand that process. Real estate is something that I don't get whatsoever. I just know it's going to come with a bill if we do win. But I will tell you right now, I am not winning this game of baseball whatsoever. I'm actually getting my teeth stomped in. It's just one of those things. Not an easy game if you don't exactly know what you're playing in your first playthrough, but it is a ton of fun, and I would love to see something like this in VR as well. There's so many different ways to play Virtual Boy games, Red Viper on 3DS being my absolute favorite. Leave me a comment down below and you tell me, what Virtual Boy games do you play and where do you play them on? Because I would be curious, and I'd also be curious if anyone even know this prototype existed, because this is the deep cuts of the deep end of the deep swimming pool. One more soundtrack sample because the music does switch up, and I'll be right back with a bit more. It's actually some addictive music, and I love the voice samples there when they yell, foul, and strike. It does really have a good intonation to it because the Virtual Boy did have some good sound hardware, and it's one of those things I wish the Virtual Boy had succeeded back in the day. Sure, it didn't have the biggest library, sure, it could cause headaches, but I feel like Nintendo was onto something. They just came to the party way too early, but now with a new prototype out there, it's just one more piece of the Virtual Boy puzzle, and with Nintendo actually kind of quasi bringing it back out, suddenly Virtual Boy is having a huge resurgence in 2025, and that is not what I expected to see whatsoever. This one really did surprise me, and if you've been following along with the entire video, by the time you're watching this, I will be able to tell you in the comments whether or not my wife and I got that house, so definitely ask below, because this, again, has been kind of a stream of consciousness. It is just one of those days. I am an impatient person by my own personality, and this is just painful to wait, because I'm sitting on about 2 hours and 46 minutes right now as I finish this video up, and I'm either going to have a house under contract or going to be starting from square one, and that is something I definitely don't want to do. But my expectation telling you right now, I think we're going to get outbid. But this is fun. Go check it out, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.